What in the world could 8-dimensional numbers, geometry taught by folding paper, and the great-granddaddy of your smartphone possibly have in common? Well, it turns out they're all connected by one single incredible date on the calendar. So let's dive in and explore the minds of March 29th.
So let's talk about March 29th. On the surface, it's just another day, right? But believe me, it holds this remarkable, kind of hidden secret in the history of mathematics.
See, on this one day, scattered across centuries and all over the globe, a handful of brilliant minds made these incredible breakthroughs that would honestly change the world. So let's meet them, one by one.
You know, in school we learn about whole numbers, fractions, even those weird imaginary numbers. But have you ever stopped to think, is that really it? Is there anything bigger, more complex?
Well, that exact question takes us back to March 29th, 1870, and it introduces us to our first mind, John T. Grace. Now, this guy was an Irish mathematician and also a lawyer who was absolutely obsessed with this idea. And this date, it actually marks the day he passed away. But he left behind a truly radical idea.
So get this. His buddy, the super famous mathematician William Rowan Hamilton, had just made a huge discovery, these 4-dimensional numbers called quaternions. Big deal, right? But Graves was like, hold on, why stop at 4? And he just kept going. He actually discovered an 8-dimensional number system. He called them octaves, but today we know them as octonions. I mean, it's kind of mind-bending to even think about, but what he was doing was literally creating whole new universes for numbers to live in.
So that's the thing about him, right? He wasn't just solving existing problems. He was daring to imagine completely new realities for numbers to exist in. A total pioneer.
All right, we're sticking with March 29th, but let's fast forward a bit, all the way to 1944. Time to meet our next game changer.
Seriously, think about that for a second. How on earth do you take something super abstract with all its rules and theorems and somehow make it feel like play?
Well, on March 29th, 1944, a brilliant English mathematician named Grace Chisholm Young passed away. And it turns out she had just the most beautiful, elegant answer to that very question. First off, this woman was an absolute powerhouse. She co-authored more than 200 articles, but her real special kind of genius was in taking these massive, complex ideas and making them simple. She wrote this incredible children's book, a first book of geometry, and it showed kids how to find the hidden patterns in shapes, not with boring equations, but by folding paper. How cool is that? She made math something you could literally hold in your hands. And that just says it all, doesn't it? It was her whole philosophy. The biggest, most profound ideas in math, they can start with something as simple as a piece of paper and a little bit of curiosity.
It's incredible, right? One single date, so many amazing stories. Okay, let's keep this train moving. We're jumping ahead again, this time to March 29th, 1996.
You know when you're playing a game and the difficulty it adjusts to you? Or maybe you're using a learning app and it starts giving you harder questions because you're getting them right. That kind of smart tech that feels so normal now, well, that idea had to come from somewhere.
And yeah, you guessed it. The answer takes us back to our date. March 29th, 1996 was the day the English polymath Gordon Pask died. And this guy, wow, he was a true original. Part scientist, part artist, and a pioneer of what we now call smart technology.
Pask was a pioneer in a field called cybernetics, which is basically just the science of how we talk to machines and how they talk back. And get this, decades before anyone had a smartphone, he was building these adaptive teaching machines that could actually have a dialogue with the learner, changing the lesson in real time based on their responses. Just amazing.
So the big takeaway here is that every single smart device you own, every app that learns from you, it owes a little something to Gordon Pask. It all goes back to his vision of a world where people and machines could actually learn together.
Okay, we've got one last stop on our tour of March 29th. We're staying on the date, but this time it's a birthday, back in 1945. And for this one, we're heading all the way to Cameroon.
I mean, why is it that math can sometimes feel so intimidating, right? So many of us have had that feeling, staring at a problem and your mind just goes blank. That little bit of panic starts to creep in. But what if there was a totally different, a better way to learn it? Well, a really brilliant answer came from our final trailblazer, Joséphine Guidy-Wandja, who was born on this very day. And she was incredible. She didn't just smash through barriers, she totally rewrote the rules on how you could teach math.
Okay, so check this out. Guidy-Wandja became the first African woman to get a PhD in mathematics and become a university professor. I mean, an unbelievable accomplishment. But she saw that her students were terrified of math, so she did something amazing. She co-created a comic book, Yao Crack in Maths.
used humor and cartoons to make math relatable, funny, and way less intimidating for African children. I mean, how powerful is that? Using art and storytelling to take the fear out of numbers and show a whole new generation that math is for everyone.
So let's just take a step back. We've got John T. Graves imagining whole new kinds of numbers, Grace Chisholm Young teaching geometry with folded paper, Gordon Pask building machines that could actually learn, and Joséphine Guidy-Wandja using comics to teach math. 4 brilliant people from totally different centuries, different countries, all connected by this one day, March 29th.
When you think about it, whether they were dealing with the chaos of infinite numbers, the complexity of geometry, the feedback loops of communication, or the challenge of making math feel human, all 4 of them were looking for the exact same thing: a hidden pattern, a simple, elegant idea that could bring order to the chaos. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What hidden pattern